Hello, my name is TenneyBox, and welcome to the Innsmouth Case. I have never played this game. I'm a pretty decent fan of Lovecraftian horror. I've gotten more into it in the past year, I'd say, just being like interested in the stories and games that are kind of in this vein of a game. That rhymed, I guess. I spent last year playing through the Sinking City, which was a phenomenal game. I had some issues with it. There's a big legal battle going on between the developer and the publisher of that game. So that's very weird. I don't want to misrepresent information about that stuff, but that's just completely unrelated to this, other than it being a Lovecraftian horror game. This is a text adventure, from what I understand, and I got a key from the developer to play/review it on my channel. And this video on TenneyBox is going to be a sort of first impressions thing, but then there will be, hopefully, a full Let's Play on my secondary channel, Tenny Plays, which is going to be more like VOD-style footage, so you guys can enjoy my entire reaction to this game. But for all intents and purposes, this video is going to be like a first impressions, like, kind of like a, hey Sharks, do you want to invest in my Let's Play? I don't know. We're going to get into this, man. New game. Loading. Oh no, not Boston. We are fans of the strange worlds of Innsmouth, but we recognize the problematic beliefs of H.P. Lovecraft. This game has been produced by a group of people who believe in inclusion and equality. Oh, that's sweet. I honestly, as somebody that's a writer and a huge reader, I honestly don't know much about Lovecraft. I didn't know he was problematic, like, at all. I honestly don't know much about him other than he has, like, a few, like, cult classics. Cult classics? Is that the right word? I don't know, that's sweet that they put that in there. Let's go! Your progress in the story will be saved at the end of each chapter. There are 35, Jesus Christ, 35 chapters in total, okay. At the end of a chapter, the screen fades to black and a green save icon appears at the bottom right of the screen. We recommend you always end the game after such a save point to make sure none of your progress is lost. If you play this chapter a second time, okay, so essentially, if we're gonna quit when the chapter's over. Okay, fair play. Boston, 21st September. We get some... Dog just went outside and started barking, bro. This is amazing. Nice job. The last rays of sunshine filter through the blind. Really? We're gonna do this, Ruby? The last rays of sunshine filter through the blinds of your empty office. The pathetic stench of whiskey, cold cigarette smoke, and canned ravioli fills the air. The screeching tires and constant beeping of car horns out there on the street tell you that it's gone 8 p.m. People are on their way home, finishing their day. You should join them. I completely concur with that. You decide, decisions. Ooh, but okay, Lovecraftian stuff is usually about people, like, going insane, right? Through the mythos of Cthulhu and all that jazz. So, like, let's keep working. Your day was long and frustrating. You're running out of ideas on how to handle the calls of people who want money from you. A cold shiver runs down your spine as you flick through a pile of unpaid bills. On the top of the pile is a reminder from your landlady. You're 2 months behind in the rent. Oh, shit. The next one is a 3-figure invoice from a games company for in-app purchases? You try to claim them as business expenses in your last investigation, but somehow your client refused to pay. Then there's the second reminder from your internet provider threatening to cut off your connection. You might take legal action because without the internet you can't work. So this, or live. So this is like a more modern take. I'm like, you really need more in-app purchases, your lawyer, cigarette. Oh, fresh air. See the sarcastic bastard who wants a cigarette. Even though I don't smoke and I'm asthmatic and not that cool. Not that smoking's cool. You know what? Never mind. A lawyer probably. Look for your lawyer's phone number and find it on an overdue final reminder with a note that her services will no longer be available to you. Right, that story. You breathe a deep sigh. It may not have been a successful day, but at least it's over. You are looking forward to a classic Friday night, watching old mystery series at home in sweatpants and getting drunk on cheap booze. Damn, Scooby-Doo really fell off, huh? Oh no, that's Velma. Since the early afternoon, you have been staring at the foreboding bottle of liquor at the end of the room. Up until now, a vague sense of professionalism has kept you from drinking yourself into oblivion. Now nothing stands in the way. Oh, suddenly you hear someone at the door. Yeah, who is it? The door slowly cracks open with a timid crack. The unknown guest pauses, then in a breathy and melodic tone, you hear a woman utter, "Hello?" Your insides cramp. You suddenly realize that you haven't cleaned your office at all this year. Gee, yeah, this is definitely me. You... Just invite her in, man. Just don't make it awkward. Hello, who are you? She's smoking in my office. That's kind of douchey. By the light of the desk lamp, you now see more than a silhouette. A breathtaking woman lights up your office. No doubt older than 40, maybe even 50. Hard to say. Clad in black, a skin-tight dress culminating in a... oh god. Decolete? Decolete? That seems to... I don't... TenneyBox does not compute. That seems to defy the laws of gravity. A smoky eyeshadow, as dark as algae, washed ashore. Blonde, coiffed, wavy hair under a dark beret. Or beret, whichever... I don't fucking... okay. The faint light of the setting sun catches in the strands of her hair, and you wonder how many heads this woman must have turned during her prime. She's completely different from your usual customers, nervous bankers with sweat stains under their armpits, convinced their wives of nothing, or something going with the mailman. Ew. Not the mailman, or gross, the sweaty thing. Every move she makes is a calculated grace. Smooth as an eel, she walks towards you and sits down on the corner of your desk. Determined, she walks towards you and sits down in the corner of your desk. It's a little bold. It's not like really embarrassing. It's kind of like weird. Why are you doing this, lady? Which is a little bold without you asking first. But as a professional, you're not giving anything away. She seems to want to play the seductive damsel in distress. The quiet, amused voice of your subconscious is pleased that the stranger may be sharing your enthusiasm for film noir cliches. Ah, yes, a fellow fan of noir. A far louder voice is surprised that this woman seems to think that a sexy pose and revealing clothes could win you over, and both voices agree that they don't like being manipulated. You don't think that the stranger perched on your table is trying to recover from a hard-working day as a lingerie model, and therefore you see no logical reason for her behavior. When she begins to speak, her voice is smoky and full of promise. My name is Dahlia Marsh. I'm looking for a private investigator. I was told you are one of the best. She extends her hand. Kiss her hand. You've come to the right place, lady. Then, of course, I'll find your missing daughter. Ooh, these are all, like, really aggressive things. You've come to the right place, lady. I don't want to kiss her. That's kind of... Although, like, that's a noir... Like, you know, that's going to be playing into the... You come to the right place, lady. What can I do for you? You sit back in your chair and fold your hands over your stomach. The woman seems a little irritated that her provocative behavior seems to have no effect on you. It had no effect on you. I'm poor. I need money. I'm not gonna do this for favors, or whatever you're implying. She moves from the edge of the desk and sits down in the chair opposite you. Yes, She clears her throat. That was me actually clearing my throat, so that just lined up nicely. As she continues to speak, the smoky seductiveness creeps back into her voice. My name is Dahlia. I need help. No, fuck you. No, ask for more details. What's up? It's about my daughter Tabitha. She has disappeared. You're pulling out paper and pencil. This is gonna be a walk in the park. A walk in the kidnapped kids' park. Well, when did you last see her, and where? The woman puts on a fake smile. We live in Innsmouth. It's a small port town north of Arkham. Ayo! Arkham gets mentioned again on the channel? Okay. Pause. The Arkham one's an amazing YouTuber / streamer that I've been working with for years, and he's a really good friend. And we were playing through another Lovecraftian game called oh gosh, something about something Night at the Witch House. I'm gonna butcher that, and that takes place, I believe, in the town of Arkham. So now it just feels like it's all connected. I know it's like a Cthulhu or Lovecraftian type thing, I'm sure, reference, but it just kind of weirds me out that that's just, you know, 2 in a row. You frown. This is a bit vague. What was your child doing when you last saw her? What hobbies does she have? Well, you know, kid stuff. They just run around and play with their yo-yos, that sort of thing. Dahlia nervously combs her hands through her hair. Does her daughter have any friends and yo-yos? Well, father seems like a little bit... I'd say friends. Like, that seems like a good bet, right? Does your daughter have any friends she might be staying with? Classmates, sports club members, anything like that? Dahlia silently shakes her head. Shakes her head. Very strange. You're about to ask if the girl at least had imaginary friends, but you hold back. Oh. Dahlia nervously combs her hands through her hair. What does your daughter look like? I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to ask about all these probably. She's only 8 and the sweetest girl you can imagine. She's been missing without a trace since last week. None of her schoolmates have seen her, and no one knows where she might have gone. She hands you a photo. Look, this is my little munchkin. Jesus. Oh, is that the... That looks like the guy from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the elf. Good heavens, is this supposed to be a joke? Is that really the face of a child or a shoddy photo edit? Are you being filmed as part of a reality TV show? A bit of stomach acid and the last bite of your lunch slowly but surely make their way up in the back of your mouth. You throw up into the top of your desk, swallow... Oh! Swallow it. I mean, I don't want to, but, like, it's a customer, man. With narrow eyes, you swallow the bile and involuntarily pull a face. Ruby's barking again. Awesome. Dahlia continues to look at you hopefully. She obviously doesn't notice your little mishap. Thank God. That was close and could have been unpleasant. Yeah. I'm so desperate. Her eyes lock with yours. Don't you think there's something strange about your child? Sure. Taking your life into your hands, you ask the mother, don't you think there's something a little bit strange about your daughter? It's called puberty. Dahlia snarls. You should try it sometime. This has nothing to do with this kid. Yeah, what? I kind of deserve that, huh? She'll see you contemptuously. Persist or cave in? Let's persist. I'm not gonna... The evaluation to a professional. Your child's facial skin is more than scaly. It's more scaly than that those poor souls you sometimes see on actor and talk shows. Jesus Christ. Besides, she doesn't seem to have a nose. It's a rare genetic defect. I didn't even see the child's face that much. It looked like the guy from Rudolph. The elf guy, Cornelius. No, Cornelius is the other one. What's his name? I just watched Rudolph, like, last Christmas. I don't know. Yo-yos. Hold on, yo-yos. Ring, ring. Can you hear that? It's the 90s calling. They want their outdated toys back. Dahlia blushes. Normally you would find this quite attractive, but the case of a missing girl beckons, and you're utterly unconvinced by the way this woman pretends to be a mother. Jesus. Confront her. Why not? Something's fishy here. You have a nose for this sort of thing. That's why you become a private investigator. Or to be more precise, that's why you took an online detective course that, for a one-off fee, provided the necessary qualification. It's time to take your visitor to task. You look at her closely. Has her daughter really disappeared? Ooh. Why did you come to me? Or has your daughter really disappeared? Has your daughter really disappeared? Uh-oh. You simply can't help questioning her further. Her story simply doesn't wash, although it's exactly what your instructor warned you about. You're sticking to your principles. Dahlia's mouth becomes even more pinched, something you didn't think possible. I resent this insolence. Of course she's disappeared. What do you take me for? You stare at one another. The only sound in the room is the roar of the rush hour traffic creeping in through the window. Dahlia's face remains motionless, icy, and you have neither evidence nor arguments to back up your suspicions. She still seems angry, but she also seems desperate. And dependent on your services. Jeez. It's your choice. I mean, it's called the Innsmouth Case. Like, I've got to Let's ask more questions. I want to find out the father. What about Tabitha's father? Are you separated? Often children reappear with family members. Dahlia smiles sadly. My little one can't swim well enough for that yet. Your pen remains on the same spot. Notepad. What was that supposed to mean? Dig deeper. Excuse me, but you're struggling to find the right words to respond to such a cryptic statement. What the hell do you mean by that? The kid can't swim enough? Dahlia turns up her nose. She doesn't seem comfortable with you asking personal questions. Still, she responds, oh, just an old saying in our village. She smiles, but it doesn't reach her eyes. Dahlia turns her gaze away from you and looks dreamily, no, longingly out at the window. Her father was a fisherman, like most in the village. A few years ago he went out to sea but never returned. Of course he did. His boat was washed ashore weeks later. His colleagues told me that he had finally followed the call of the waves. You keep quiet for a moment. Deceased family members are always a sensitive subject. Yeah, I imagine. My sincere condolences. She seems calm. Oh, somehow I always knew that moment would come. I think my husband is in a better place now, and at some point I'll join him. You take a closer look at Dahlia's outfit. Judging by her behavior and clothes, you never would have taken her to be a fisherman's wife. Ooh. Financial... Why not? Let's just make it awkward. Maybe we're a private detective, I guess. What do you do for a living? I work at Innsmouth's tourism department. Why do you ask? This don't seem like someone who's handing out holiday brochures. I'm not gonna say this is just dickish. You don't seem like somebody who distributes tourist brochures. You continue in your own lovable, honest way. Dahlia stares daggers at you, poison-soaked, stabby daggers. What are you implying? She squeezes out between tightly clenched teeth. Well, that is exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. Well, exactly. That is exactly what I'm talking about. You yell accusingly with your index finger raised. Has anyone ever told you that you're a total colossal pain in the ass? A lump forms in the pit of your stomach. With terrible clarity, you realize that Dahlia and you won't end up in bed together tonight. It wasn't meant to be, and you clear your throat, embarrassed. You don't even remember what you were about to say. No further questions, I suppose. Wait. With no further questions, you mumble more to yourself than to her. Dahlia stretches her neck imperceptibly. No doubt she would like to take a look at your notebook. Your pen hovers over the notes you've taken. Missing daughter, dodgy lady. That's it. You've worked with less. I gotta take it, I guess. You nod. A missing persons case. Nothing unusual. Better Call Saul theme just started playing because my phone started ringing a little bit. I want to mute that. Sorry. A missing persons case, and nothing unusual. The conventional little girl runs away from home after reading her first romance novel. Usually hide at the edge of the forest or in a library. Should be pretty straightforward. Before you can say anything, she drops a photo of your child and a roll of bills on your desk for your expenses. You nod slowly, trying not to drool down the front of your shirt. You haven't seen this much money in ages. What's the cost, though? You don't have much time to prepare. A quick search reveals that only one bus goes to Innsmouth and only once a day. A pattern emerges in your research. The few new items related to this little coastal town are all about missing persons. In addition, you find some rather old-fashioned articles that praise the coastal town as a secret holiday destination, the best fish, untouched beach promenade, authentic fishing people are the recurring buzzwords. Dahlia has given you the address at which you're supposed to drop off her daughter as soon as you find her. She also wrote down her phone number on the child's photo. You take another look at the picture before you pack your things. That is literally the guy from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. By bus. Don't trust the hitchhiking. Was that the end of the chapter, that means? Bus in 22nd September. I like this so far. I know it's a lot of reading, and I apologize if you're not into that. But simply put, on my channel, I want to do a wide variety of games, and if you don't like it, then you don't like it. Like, I like it, so we're going to try it. We're going to play it. Your journey begins at a busy bus station. There's supposed to be a bus line that departs from here to Innsmouth. Buses, you think to yourself, are not only environmentally friendly means of transportation, they're also easy on your wallet. Sadly, the departure boards aren't of much help. New York, Maine, Rhode Island, no trace of Innsmouth as a destination. You wander around for a while until you've noticed a cleaner eating a sandwich on the side of one of the vending machines. We'll talk to them. Excuse me, where can I find the bus to Inns? Without letting go of his sandwich, the cleaner points to an abandoned counter in the dingiest corner that a public bus station could be capable of. The man gives you a nod, indicating that anything that can be said has indeed been said. You find that the counter is elaborately decorated with cobwebs. It's a bit early for Halloween preparations, but at least someone's made an effort. At the moment, nobody seems to be there. You press your face against the plastic window to peer into the room behind. Hello? Hello, is anyone there? I have to go to Innsmouth. No one there. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a bus ticket appears on the counter. Might the trip be free? Should you leave a payment? Yes. Yeah, we will. You're a staunch defender of the law. It goes without saying that you pay. You put a few coins in the bowl underneath the foggy glass window. Sometimes they won't be stolen by the next passenger. Or hopefully they won't be stolen by the next passenger. Even if someone were sitting behind the counter, you wouldn't be able to see him. It's just too dark. You were distracted for a few seconds, and suddenly there's some change in the counter. What's that in amongst the coins? A small golden fishing hook? How strange. Where's this bus hiding? In between the polished greyhounds and travelers stowing their luggage, saying goodbye and dropping tiredly into their seats, there's a kind of dumpster. A dumpster with windows and wheels? No, it's actually a bus. It's a bit on the rusty side, and even from a distance you smell the strange smell it emits. Is that sulfur? You're not convinced how this thing is supposed to drive. In its vicinity, everything is noticeably quieter than at the other bus stops. The people getting on show no sign of emotion. Nobody's trying to jump the queue here. Instead, the passengers move past the bus driver at a uniform speed, one after the other, shuffling up the creaking steps. Each two-seater bench is occupied by individuals, as if they want to make sure not to come into contact with their fellow passengers. The sign clearly says Innsmouth. Innsmouth? No departure times, no stopovers, just Innsmouth. Innsmouth? God, people are gonna kill me. So undecided, you're standing on the stairs to the bus. Okay. Show your ticket. You hand the driver the ticket, no reaction, at least you can't make out a reaction. The lighting is poor, and the shadow of his dusty driver's cap covers almost his entire face. You notice something strange on his neck, but you can't quite make out what it might be. You're standing in the door, waiting for an okay, a nod, anything. The sulfur odor has increased, a queue is formed behind you, but no one is pushing or complaining. The people wait quietly and patiently. Get out of here, say something. Just keep walking. You shuffle sideways through the center aisle. You don't remember the bus looking this long from the outside. You are surrounded by shabby two-seater benches, and some are already occupied, one traveler per row. The last bench is free. Looks like the upholstery is torn in some places, though. Or has it been slid open? You can see springs with sharp wire edges and some sticky liquid. Seems to leak onto the floor. Why don't you just sit down in one of the free rows? Here in the back, almost everything is occupied. Most of the passengers seem to have purposefully sat down in the aisle seats, blocking up the window seats. Maybe this is an opportunity to get a little closer to the common Innsmouth visitor. You gaze across the row of seats. See, I would probably sit by myself. I think it's kind of weird or rude even to sit next to somebody. Like, if there's more seats open, like, if nobody wants to be bothered. And I wouldn't want to be bothered personally, unless, I don't know. At least I don't think I would. I mean, we're a detective, though, so we probably should ask. As a non-conformist, you join one of the passengers in a double seat. Since only one man was so considerate as to sit at the window, your options are limited anyway. As far as you can tell, the man is a haggard figure with barely any luggage. The hood of the gray jumper pulled far into his face. The man looks out onto the street as if something very important is happening there that requires his attention. Is the seat taken? You ask politely. He turns his head and gives you a brief once-over. Without saying a word, he turns away again. Sit down anyway. Is this him? He's freaking me out. Sit down anyway, let's go. Alright, that wasn't a no either. You sit down and regret it instantly. The smell of sulfur is now overpowered by something else. Something that smells like it's been in the sun for too long. Oh, gross. You're trying to catch a glimpse of what's under that hoodie. Does this person have a genetic defect? Is he malnourished? You're not sure exactly where the problem might be, but you're trying to stay professional. Jeez. You awkwardly stare at the headrest of the person in front of you. Talk to the stranger next to you. Yeah, let's make some conversation. This is a chance to get some inside information. Do small talk about veganism. Look the passenger over. Play the tourist. I'm very curious about this veganism one. We're gonna do the play the tourist though. Jesus Christ, dude. You clear your throat before you speak. Twitching in with a slight tremor, the man turns to you. Excuse me, I'm visiting Innsmouth for the first time. Do you happen to know anyone from there? A twitch is all you get. Maybe you should get right to the point. It's hard to tell if you're boring him. As for a few tourist trips. Mention the missing girl. I don't know if I want to tell this guy about the missing girl. What the hell is he doing, man? Tourism tips. Does Innsmouth have any sights? Your neighbor stares into the middle distance. Is he thinking? The silence between the two of you is hardly bearable. The beach. He finally stutters. Your eyes meet again. The old town, he adds. Well, that could have gone worse. The small talk has been gruelingly slow, so you decide to let it go. This ride is taking forever. The bus leaves the country road and turns off at a wooden sign that says Innsmouth in red flaky letters. The journey continues rather bumpily along a narrow road, a dirt road littered with numerous potholes. In the distance, some houses are already visible, seagulls circling the roofs of the outermost edge of the city. Slowly, all passengers take their bags out from under the seats and get ready. It is a little hard to not have a voice actor do this, and it is hurting my throat, so I don't know how long the episode's going to be, but I'm going to try my best to keep going. Let me just make sure there's not like a... it doesn't look like it. That's fine. It's not that big of a deal. I'm having fun reading it. It's just like a little much for LP or like a reviewer or YouTuber. Curious, you look through the front window or the side window. A side window is always feels like interesting, because you get to see like right in the moment. I don't know. That's the weird sentence I just said. That's odd. The bus passes by a huge... what is this? A scrapyard? Parking lot? Why would something like this be here right outside the city? You pass another wooden sign whose half-peeled writing advertises the Innsmouth Park and Ride area. A lot of cars look like they've been sitting here for years. Sand covers some of the bonnets and windscreens. The front door of the bus opens with a squeak, and you join the monotonous line of locals stepping onto the bus as if in a daze. Almost walking in step... Wait. Almost walking in step, you all get closer to the... What the hell am I reading? Almost walking in step... Oh, okay. Almost walking in step, you all get closer to the exit. Sorry, my brain just shut off for that sentence. As you walk down the steps, you have to protect your eyes from the sunlight. Turns out the windows of the bus were tinted. The other passengers shuttle off. Okay. Finally, Innsmouth. You examine your surroundings while you stretch your legs trying to unwind from the stressful journey. No artist could have adequately captured the serenity and beauty of this place. A clear blue sky lights up the town square, which is paved with bright limestone, and surrounded by neo-colonial buildings reminiscent of 19th century New England. A fresh sea breeze, crying seagulls, and locals going about their business. In the center of the square, water trickles from a fountain. As you stretch your limbs and breathe in the clean air, you're suddenly startled by the water feature right in front of you. The fountain is an enormous fish-like brass creature, an open jaw lined with shark-like fangs, spouts brackish water down its massive, inhumanly contorted body. I don't like that. As if that wasn't enough, there appears to be human bodies squirming underneath its massive claws. Jesus. Their faces are as contorted as yours is right now. How long have you been standing here? Eyes wide open in shock, you feel utterly paralyzed. You start to scan the town square and notice more and more disturbing details. On every corner you spot ornamental statues and reliefs of fish. But these are not your classic harmless kind of fish. These are pagan symbols and grimaces of supernatural creatures from the darkest crevices of the deep sea. In surrounding houses you can see faces pressed against the windows. All the locals appear to be watching you. You suddenly start to think that the cries of the seagulls sound particularly human-like. They sound like humans crying out in pain. What happened to this idyllic scene from a few moments ago? Whew, my brain, man. More of my throat. Welcome to Innsmouth. Welcome to Innsmouth. Turn around or ignore. Turn around. Hello. Welcome to Innsmouth! How nice of you to visit! A small elderly woman waves at you from afar. She beams at you as if you were her long-lost grandchild. I mean, maybe we are. She seems very different to the bores you've met so far on the bus into town. Her squealing shakes you out of your nightmarish panic. It's so good to have you here. I've noticed you're very taken by our local fountain. It was built in 1704 by Abdul Necrotis, favorite artist and friend of Charles Dexter Tillinghast, the founder of Innsmouth. The central figure was a present, and it was supposed to commemorate their travels together to Cairo. You can clearly see the Egyptian influences in Necrotis' work here and here. She points wildly in every direction, and here. But I am sure you've already noticed this yourself. You look like someone who knows his way around art, she says with a wide smile. You're still in shock. I am. She beams at you. Who the hell are you? Oh, haven't I introduced myself? I'm ever so sorry. In front of you now stands a small plump person in a tasteless costume. Your rudeness doesn't seem to curb her enthusiasm in the slightest. My name is Muriel Pooping Place. I'm the director of the Parks Commission, Chief Tourism Officer, and head of the Welcoming Committee. Ta-da! Behind Muriel, there's a ramshackle wooden information stand, lovingly decorated with balloons. A colorful painted sign reads, "Welcome to Innsmouth." I keep saying Innsmouth because it like rolls off the tongue, but I think it's Innsmouth. I've always been saying Innsmouth. People are gonna get triggered at me. I don't care. Muriel tiptoes over to her information stand and picks up a whole load of flyers and leaflets from the rickety display cases. She looks down at all the paper in her all the paper. I think that's supposed to be. She looks down at all the paper in her arms and briefly shoots with laughter. My goodness, why don't you take the city map to begin with? Or why don't you? Useful. You take the map and put it into your coat pocket. Would you like to find out more about our wonderful town, which has been awarded the East Coast Stunning Award for several years in a row? And would you? Kind of looking for someone. Here I am! The small plump woman starts giggling. Innsmouth welcomes you warmly. So you're looking for someone. It's not that uncommon for two lonely hearts to find another in this romantic place. Muriel winks at you. Missing girl. You see, I'm looking for this girl. It's always about a girl, isn't it? Tabitha Marsh, 8 years old. Her mother asked me to take on the case. You take out the photo and Muriel immediately rips it out of your hand. Oh, what a cutie. But I'm sorry to say I've not heard anything about missing girls. How awful. This sort of thing doesn't happen in Innsmouth. Perhaps you can have a look around at the beach or on the playground. There are a lot of kids around there. I'm sure that's where the little one will be. With an unnaturally wide grin, she hands you back the photo, turns around quickly, and makes her way over to accost another tourist family. You head further into town along the cobbled road in the direction of the coast. Not long ago, the sun was bright in the sky, but already the first wafts of mist are creeping into the streets. The air feels thicker and the sun can no longer penetrate the fog. Time to think about where you want to go. You slow down, you lean your briefcase against a wall, and start pacing up and down the quiet alleyway. You've got an important choice to make right now. The city center is in the north. Even from afar, you can see the outlines of the old and ornately decorated buildings in the main town square. Here, you should find the police station, the main shopping street, and of course the town hall. As a coastal town, Innsmouth also has a harbor. Gotta take a drink. From your research, you found out that this is a bustling area with a dreamy beach. You expect there to be mostly tourists. According to your research, the only hotel in town, the Gilman Hotel, is located in the old town. You think about checking in. You could do that. You could do with freshening up and getting rid of that bus smell that is still clinging on your clothes. Yeah, true. Just as you are about to set off, your heart leaps into your throat. You've forgotten your briefcase. This has never happened to you. You usually take good care of the little you possess. There's nothing you can do about this now. You have to wait until your return journey to find out whether someone has handed it in at the Lost and Found. Still, you could swear that the briefcase was already gone when you got off the bus. You decide on... Oh, gosh. I was wondering if we can go to the police station first to see about the... Let's go to the hotel first. I think we'll do one more chapter for this first impressions. I'm really enjoying this so far. It's just that it's very hard on my voice to, like, do it, like, a lot, because I'm getting over bronchitis as well. You recognize its roof from afar, and after a long walk, it is now before you in full splendor. The Gilman Hotel. At least it's easy to see that it once must have been a gorgeous building. The hotel resembles an old English country estate, but in its present state, it would be suited as the setting for a very predictable film about teenagers and chainsaw killers. Wild and withered ivy has a firm grip on the walls and obscures the details of the richly decorated facade. A gallery of gargoyles, melted into unreal shapes by acid rain and acidic pigeon droppings, lines the roof. The many window panes have been neglected for years. Only in a few places has a small area been wiped clean in order to see outside. There are 2 cars in the parking lot, a vintage car with large rust spots, and a large gray van. The kind of van you've always been warned about as a child. Inspect the cars. Look around again and to make sure that people aren't hiding somewhere with their shotgun at the ready. The coast is clear. Firstly, you walk over to the antique car. Well, you're not a car expert, but the car looks antique to you anyway. Both seats inside are made of white leather, a bit tacky. You turn away from the antique car and look towards the van. No writing on the side, a regular registration plate. The windows in the front blacked out. Hang on. You have a brainwave. Maybe this is the van into which poor Tabitha has been pulled when she was kidnapped. When she was lured to her awful fate by sweets and lollipops. Jesus. That sounds... I mean, it's like a stereotype, but, like, I feel like... I don't know. This game seems like it'd be the type of game that would... No, she's probably like a serial killer or something. What is the plot twist of this game gonna be? Or what's the answer? Sure, plausible. Of course, it all makes sense. In all likelihood, you've just managed to find the actual kidnapper, the seed of all that is evil and wrong in this case, and all you had to do was book a hotel room and stare at cars. You're a natural. Now all you need to do is all you need is some proof. What's the plan, Stan? Jesus, I can't just smash in the window, but I kind of want to. Try to get the boot. I believe boot is the trunk, right? I'll do that. Of course, whatever's in the back. Whatever it is you're looking for must be in the back of the van. Excitingly, you walk around the van. Sadly, the door is unopened. That would have been truly lucky. Full of optimism, you try the handle to see if the door has been left unlocked. There's noticeable resistance when you turn the handle. Dan, you won't get in there without the car key. You walk back to stand in front of the bonnet of the van. Smash in the window. Why not? A brilliant idea. Your brain is running at full speed, complimenting itself for its ingenuity. A good day indeed. I feel like that'll hurt me if I do the rock. Of course, you're going to use a rock. You're not completely stupid. You look around on the ground for a suitable stone. Found it. You lift up your tool and weigh it in your hands. Not too dirty. Good grip. Perfect. You look around the parking lot one last time to make sure you're by yourself. You aim and smash the stone right into the window. The window breaks and splinters. That was loud. Hopefully no one will have heard that. You peek inside the driver's cabin. Suddenly the smell of stale, old grease creeps up your nostrils. On the floor of the passenger seat there is a scrunched brown paper bag with the logo of a fast food chain. A paper cup rests on the dashboard. Where are the traces of kidnapped children? You get the feeling that you're wasting your time, and you don't want to get caught in a smashed up vehicle that doesn't belong to you. Luckily the parking lot and the nearby street seem to be completely deserted. You've stayed in this parking lot long enough. You don't want anyone else to call the police on you. Maybe you should just go back, go and book your room. You really hope the inside of the hotel has been looked after a little better than the outside, but you've quickly disabused? You're quickly disabused of that notion. The massive wooden door is difficult to open. Shouldn't the staff be doing this anyway? With a loud creaking sound from the hinges and exhausted puffing and panting on your part, you manage to open the door and enter the lobby of the Gilman Hotel. You wonder if guests are even welcome in this place. The room is sparsely lit. There are impressive chandeliers hanging from the ceiling, which, if working, would perhaps not quite give the grand hall back its original splendor, but at least convey more warmth. Your first steps tell you that there are rotten floorboards hiding underneath the thick carpet. The green wall paneling and wallpaper also appear rotten and musty. Sort of wet. No, wait. Okay. I'm not going to check into this moldy sinkhole you say out loud to yourself just like a normal person would. Your words ring through the building, a slowly fading echo. Nobody walks up to complain to you or to persuade you to give the place another chance. Strange. Go to reception. Oh, gross. It's actually kind of cute. Never mind. Before you let yourself be distracted by the questionable interior design and the associated health issues, you walk purposely towards the reception desk. A small greenish creature stands behind the counter. The loudly humming ceiling lamp above harshly illuminates his silhouette and gives his face hard edges. You can make out every individual speck of dust and dandruff on his on his dark green velvet collar and crooked shoulders. Maybe this should be dimming the lights after all. The figure smiles at you, or perhaps it's more of a grin. His face unsettles you. You lean forward at an angle to get a better look at him. The corner of his mouth reaches all the way up to his dried up ears. His smile looks like it's been painted on. His beady eyes lie deep in the cavity of his skull and seems to stare into opposite directions. Has he even blinked yet? And on top of it all, he smells funny. How may I help? You're startled and take a step back. Welcome to the Gilman Hotel. My name is Cornelius Gilman III. How may I be of service to you? The man's gaze remains unchanged, and his unnatural smile still seems to be etched onto his face. You're still surprised that he can talk with that expression on his face. Just a moment ago, you could have sworn he was an inanimate puppet. Puppet? Jeez. I just said like object and puppet in the same word. Just like now when he's not speaking. What is wrong with your face? You have beautiful eyes. He does have beautiful eyes. Would like to book a room, please? I would like to book a room. You begin to manage not to blurt out in a different hotel. Perfect. The Gilman Hotel is delighted to be able to welcome you as its guest. May I ask whether you're in Innsmouth for business or pleasure? How long will you be staying with us? Would you prefer a view towards the beach or the skyline of our exciting town? When would you like to be woken up? Do you sleep deeply? Are you traveling alone? Do you have family? Who knows that you're here? Can I interest you in our spa, fitness, and wellness activities? Would you like to subscribe to our newsletter? How long can you hold your breath? Answer all the questions. You take the box next to pleasure, wink wink. Business. We'll be staying with us as long as it takes. Favorite view. View of the beach. Would you like to be woken up? No, damn it. Do you sleep deeply? As deeply as my feelings for you. So, yeah. Are you traveling by yourself? Maybe time I'll do myself. Do you have family? My family's none of your business. I wish to start a family. I have this goldfish called Al. Who knows that you're here? Why are you asking me all this? Can I interest you in our spa, fitness, and wellness activities? Do you like going to the steam room? Would you like to start our newsletter? I would kill anyone who tries to get me to subscribe to their cursed newsletter. How can you hold your breath? Yeah. Are we done now? Can I go to my room? The concierge's expression did not change a tiny bit for the duration of your conversation, let alone did he blink. Thank you very much. That was all I needed to know. Now all I need to do is sign here. He tilts a strangely shaped head over to the guest register. Impatiently, you sign with... this one, Noob Slayer. Sadly, we're all booked up this season. There's only one spare room. Here's your key for room 666. Enjoy your stay. You look at the key, which has magically appeared on the counter. Then your eyes slowly wander past the man to the wall, where countless other keys are hanging. I'll see my room first. You look at a golden panel with the layout of the different rooms and floors. Room 666. There it is. 4th floor, left wing of the building. You walk up the stairs to the upper floors, but you can still feel the eyes of the concierge on you. Panting, you finally reach your floor. An almost endless corridor spreads out in front of you. At the other end, you see a figure who seems to be as lost as you are. Didn't the building look much smaller from the outside? You walk down the corridor when you notice the figure approaching you. Your brain is mentally preparing itself for a benign hotel small talk. But wait, it's you! You walk a bit further and realize you're standing in front of a mirror. That's why the corridor looks so vast. The mirrors mark a fork. Sometimes, well, sometimes. How did I get that word from recording? According to the room numbers, your room should be further to the left, on the left. In the corridor towards the right, you see a small yellow sign on the floor. Maintenance. Go to your room. After 2 more confusing turns and giant mirrors, you reach room 666. Finally, you're going to drop your stuff off and take a nap. Good plan. Of course, the door resists being opened. You jerk the key back and forth in the lock until you hear a satisfying clicking sound. A soothing warmth hits you as you enter the room. Immediately, the synapses in your brain switch into energy-saving mode. The trip to Innsmouth has probably taken more out of you, more than you had thought. You don't even notice the rest of the room. Rest. Your hand glides over the tightly pulled bedspread. No dust. That's a good sign, right? You carefully sit down on the edge of the bed, just to make sure the mattress doesn't explode upon contact. You're delighted to see that there's no explosion. You take off your coat and shoes, then stretch out on the bed. A mild but all-encompassing pain that you hadn't even noticed before melts off your spine. Everything is warm and pleasant. You feel free and weightless. Young people call this a power nap. You close your eyes for 10 minutes, then you'll be ready for the rest of the day. Sounds completely convincing. You close your eyes and snooze away. And that is the end of the chapter. And I'm going to stop it here. I'm going to pause. No, I don't want to... Can I... someone's following you? That's going to be a hell of a cliffhanger, which will be continued on my my secondary channel. But I would love to thank the developers of this game for giving me a key for this. I had a blast playing it. And yeah, I want you guys to check it out. Go check it out on Steam. Wishlist it. Play it. Buy it. Buy it for a friend. Buy it for me. Wait, no, I already have it. Don't buy it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep calm, trust your instincts, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.